what it is. Jay Williams, Let's Live Life, and we're back. So you think going to prison and getting to beefing with somebody is the only way you're going to get yourself hurt? I'm here to tell you you're wrong. Nowadays, you might not even get into it with the dude that you got beef with. Nah, they going to come out with Venmo, Cashapp, Zelle, and a whole bunch of other apps that if somebody wants to touch you, they got to touch you. The right price, they'll reach out and touch your ass. Now, today's story, I have changed some names and just to avoid anybody from getting jammed up behind one of my stories. Not that I should probably be protecting guys that are running around with knives, trying to take other people's lives, bars, but at the same time, we don't want to see nobody get jammed up behind any of these stories. Now, I want you to imagine you get to beefing with somebody and you don't know where the real beef is going to come from. You don't know when it's going to come. But you know there's some guys around here that got reputations for buying beefs. That's what it's called, buying a beef. Oh, you got a beef with such and such. You got a beef with such and such. Now I got a beef with such and such. Send that. And it happens. And that's what today's story is all about. Thinking that you're safe. You can get moved from one prison to the next. Cross the compound from this pod to this pod. And all it takes with all the cell phones in prison now is just a couple clicks of a button. Ew. Yeah, somebody coming your way. This is his name. Need you to get at him. Send that. Cashapp sent. We own it. It's a whole new world we living in these days. You know I'm old school when you do this. I think the new thing to do is like this, but yeah, send that. Y'all stay tuned. Got a great story for y'all today on this nice snowy day. If you're watching this on the day it came out, today is December 5th. I woke up and there was snow everywhere. So here we are. Let's get this out to y'all. You know I done seen it. You know I done lived it. So let's relive it. Now, before we get started, if you have not watched my last live, you need to go watch the last live. I told y'all 2026, we're moving into the podcasting, the true crime, and I'm still going to do my stories. So anybody that thinks, well, I'm not going to watch no more because you're not telling stories. Well, you know what? Sometimes you got to elevate. You can't tell stories forever, and there's so much more we can do with this channel. And to my day ones, my A1s from day ones, the ones that if they knew better, they do better, they know better, so they show better, y'all are going to be there with me. Go back and catch the live. That is my guy, Dirty. Dirty is my best friend by a long shot. I met Dirty on this last bid here, and we became like this real quick. So I had him over for 4 days. We did some TikTok videos. Well, we did some TikTok lives. Unfortunately, you can't watch those. If you were there, I appreciate you. And we did a 2-hour live on YouTube the other night. So go watch the video, find out who Dirty is, so that when we go into 2026 and y'all see me in the new studio, and y'all see the co-host, and y'all see the guest, it starts to make sense. And stay tuned at the end of the video where I have to let y'all know about a friend of mine's father who passed, and I'm going to share a GoFundMe. This is the holiday season. If you've got it to give, please reach out and help my homeboy and his father. Stay tuned at the end of the video. I'll drop that, and I'll drop the link in the description. Now, I told y'all in my last bid, I talked to a lot of different guys. I heard a lot of different stories, but this thing right here is something I heard time and time again. Actually seeing somebody get to beefing with somebody else, and a third party walk up and say, hey, you ain't got to do nothing. You send me that Cashapp and I'll take care of him. And that's pretty much what happened. He sent him a Cashapp and this guy smashed this guy out. And I get the pleasure of sitting down with somebody that I became pretty cool with. And he tells me the story of Santana. And the second two guys he didn't give a name on. You can call him Dum Dum and Stupid. And once again, this video is for entertainment purposes only. That's it. Don't try to use it against nobody. So I have the unfortunate pleasure of sitting down and talking with this individual at the table one day. Pulls up. I had talked to him a bunch of times in the past. And he said, what you know about them Cashapp hits? So I just seen one the other day. He said, no, what you know about them real Cashapp hits? That was just somebody getting beat up. It ain't got nothing on what I'm about to tell you and all the things I done seen when it comes to the Cashapp and what it does in prison. Now I'm intrigued. Please carry on. Hold. Pause. Let me grab my pad. Let's begin. He says, check it out, homeboy. I'm on the end of a 15-year sentence. Going home in less than a year. He said, the place prior to this is the place I was also at, Greensville Correctional Center. I said, how's Greensville these days? Turned up. I said, you know I was there for a long time, over 8 years. Yeah, I heard. So we get to talking about how it was when I was there. I said, if you got to, somebody poked you up when I was there, you more or less did something to that person, or you had some really bad charges and they didn't agree with it, so they just came at you. He says, oh no, now everything is on demand. Dudes ain't really wanting commissary like that. You got some guys that'll accept commissary for payment for certain things. But when it comes to getting something done quick, you want that Cashapp. He said, now these are not isolated incidents. This is something that happens all the time. These aren't the only guys doing that. You know what they say, when people are hungry, they're going to find a way to eat. And that's pretty much what this revolves around. He would go on to tell me, he said, the first time that I ever seen them do anything like this, they came in my pod. In comes Santana, black dude, long braids, not dreads, braids, down to about his shoulder, light skin, 6 foot, 6'1", maybe 210, 215. I don't know what you think. That's a good sized dude. He said, and in comes dumb, dumb, and stupid. Once again, these are made up names. He said, as I'm sitting on the phone, I watched them come in, I watched them go on a cell, and completely annihilate this old dude. Like, for whatever reason, they smashed this guy out. And no sooner it was over, they left. Mind you, this is not their beef. He says what ultimately happens is the dude on the top tier has a problem with that dude. If you don't know this by now, you're in the dark. Prisons are now flooded with cell phones. I'm not even going to try to start to tell you how many cell phones I saw just this go around. He said, but phones are everywhere. He said, if you can't get your hands on a phone, you're a nobody. He said this would be a reoccurring thing, and not just with Santana, dumb, dumb, and stupid, but in general. If somebody wanted to get you touched, they're going to pick up the phone, they're going to make a call, and you're going to catch them hands, or you're going to catch the bad end of a blade. Which just completely changes the dynamics of prison altogether. With the phones being the way they are, there's nowhere you can go. You can get shipped 7 hours away. You call on that cell phone, hey, look this name up. Go on inmate locator, where's he at? Okay, hold on, let me think. I know somebody there. And you reach out to somebody at that compound, have them go find him, get him on the phone and say, hey, I got somebody up there I need touched, man. If you don't want to do it, get me in touch with somebody, send that Cashapp, and I'm going to make sure it gets done. I just need the Cashapp address. Now, as I've said, this is a reoccurring event. This is something that's starting to happen on the regular. It's something that's still happening to this day. The Cashapp will get you touched. He said, Jay, we get this dude from up in the mountains that's a gang member. Now, I'm not going to say the name of the gang or the set of the gang. You can call it whatever you want. Put whatever gang's face to what you want. He said, but this dude is the definition of a bully, Jay. He's bigger than life, brags about everything he did. He's constantly putting his hands on people, but he ain't never really pushed that knife. But he's so big that he just intimidates dudes and puts the fear of God in him. Even his own gang. These dudes are getting fed up with him. Several times now, he's done beat up one of his own. I don't think that's something you're supposed to do in the gang world, is just be irritated and beat one of your own up. Doesn't sound good for business, but that's how the story goes. This guy shows up, big ass dude, smashes out some of his own gang members, and the other ones are more or less deriding. They're people pleasers. They hang around him just because they have to. They chuckle and they laugh, but on the inside they're scared because of the amount of violence this man has already done, displayed, and is willing to do. How long is the dude on the compound? He said, before he got to where I'm about to tell you, 3-4 months, man. Now, he's higher up the ladder than the dudes that's currently there. So when he shows up, he steps into the position of taking over the gang. This dude's got rank in the gang. He said, now, I'm not going to say things were chill before this dude got here, because things there are always turned up. Google the place. Now, when it comes to the gang members, they don't care what you think about them if you ain't gang affiliated. The only thing that matters to them is what their gang thinks about them, and that they don't do anything to offend any other gangs. With what I'm about to tell you next, I've seen it time and time again. Gang members getting caught messing with the boys. Some gangs will let it ride, but then there's other organizations, the moment you do it, they're going to come at you. This dude has done dominated. He's beat dudes up time and time again, got dudes sent up out of here. You're watching dudes walk around with their face mangled because this big ass dude is putting hands on people. So if he wants to go do something, he's going to do it. If he wants to talk to the boy, he's going to do it. So he said about 3.5 months in, they got a boy that's coming from another building and would sneak over on this side of the yard, and anytime they had wreck, the dude would peel off from his gang and go holler at the boy. He's creeping and freaking with the boy when nobody's watching, but everybody's always watching. The gang knows what he's doing, but at the end of the day, there ain't nothing they can do, which sounds stupid to me. There's so many of y'all. Like y'all are like a pack of wolves. Y'all could jump on this dude and dismantle him, and of course somebody's going to get hurt. But none of these dudes would test this dude. Nobody wanted any smoke with this dude. So they kind of just accepted it. Man, he's fruity. Messes with the boy. What we gonna do about it? Ain't nothing we really can do. He's like higher up, like. Just another reason I don't do the gangbanging stuff. Now, he says this new boy shows up. He's been messing with one boy for a while now that's a black dude. We say boy, that's another word for homosexual, gay, gump, sissy, trans, all that can be considered a boy. Not a young man, a boy. It's a boy. He said he's been messing with a skinny-ass black boy for a while now, and this white dude shows up, and he decides he don't want to mess with the black boy no more. He wants to mess with the white boy. Another reason I don't like the term white boy. But he's got to creep to do this, because if boy A finds out about boy B, boy A is going to go attack boy B, and then potentially it's going to cause problems with him and the big dude. He says big dude is sliding off every chance he can to go hang out with the white boy and no longer really rocking with the black boy like that, thinking the black boy ain't going to find out, but he does. As I've told you, everybody's watching you at all given moments. You think you're going to slide off and do something slick and not get caught? Stop it. He said what ends up getting him caught up is he passes a note through the fence one day. They're on separate yards. And tells somebody, hey, when you go in the building, take this kite to such and such. He's sending a kite to the boy. This dude goes in, I guess being funny, and asks boy, hey, you know what the white boy is, man? Such told me to give him this piece of paper. Boy says, let me get that. Let me see. And he reads whatever dude sent him. Didn't like it. We fast forward to nighttime. The black boy goes and beats up the white boy. And there's nothing the big gang dude can do because he's in a whole nother building. Doesn't even know this is taking place until the morning time. Everybody goes to chow. White boy's nowhere to be seen. Dudes come and tell him, hey, your boy beat the white boy up last night. And then the white boy checked in. Yeah, and he's talking about he needs to holler at you too. Later that day, they go to the yard. And boy A sneaks back over to see the gang dude. Starts running his mouth like he can't be touched. Why you go cheat on me? You told me you love me. You said this, you said that. And gets up in his face, starts grabbing on him. Big dude grabs him up, beats him up in front of everybody, smashes him, trashes him, bashes him out, and goes about his business. Don't ever run up on me like that again. You done lost your damn mind. Don't worry about what I do behind closed doors. Don't worry about who I'm talking to. This is crazy when I think about it. Anyways. Big dude trashed this. He said Jay Big Dude did him dirty, man. He said Jay Big Dude hit this dude in his face, and it looked like he busted every blood vessel in his eye, swole his whole shit up. So now the boys got to walk around like that. The other boys ain't about to get involved. They're damn sure not about to go over there and jump this dude and get their heads pulled off like chickens. So what you gonna do? He says, Jay, I'm out there one day with my weight squad, and we're out there lifting weights. And I see that beat up boy come to the fence, and he yells through, hey, somebody go get Santana. Go get Santana. Santana's the Cashapp hitter. Hit your ass up for that cash. Go find Santana. Santana comes to the fence with Dumb and Stupid in tow. He said, now I didn't hear all the conversation when something like this is going on. They try to keep it hush, but I heard enough to know that he was trying to hire these dudes to go with this big ass gang dude behind what he did to him. Santana and them telling him, don't care nothing about that. The price is right. He can get it like Bob Barker. What's your Cashapp? Writes the Cashapp down. Goes on back in the building. So what's just happened is the boy just hired these 3 hitters to go with this big ass gang dude. So the boy goes back in the building that night. I don't know if he had a phone. He probably borrowed somebody's phone, and he gets on the phone. Hey, I need you to send the Cashapp real quick. Yeah, send this 150 to this Cashapp. I'm gonna sit on the phone with you till it's done. You done? You did it? All right, thank you. In the meanwhile, these dudes are waiting on the Cashapp to hit. Dude ain't gonna come up to you and say he's gonna do all this and do all that and not get it done. Because other people are gonna overhear what you just said. So if you're out there selling wolf tickets, you're making plans to do something that you never do, and this dude finds out you was trying to put a hit on him, well now you're gonna get smashed out and nothing's ever gonna happen to him. Now how this didn't make it back to the big dude, I don't know. I don't know if maybe everybody was just tired of this dude and was like, nah, don't say nothing to him. Let him get at him. That's my guess. Because under normal circumstances, if old boy heard them say this and heard the whole conversation or heard them talking about what they was going to do, it would get spread really, really fast. Everybody on the compound would know. Nobody said nothing. Somehow it seems like everybody started finding out that day, except for the dude they were going at. He said, I didn't know if they were going to do it that night or if they were going to do it the next day. He said, I figured they'd wait till the next morning when they called wreck. Everybody's going out. That's the perfect time for you to slide in because there's guys coming in both directions. A lot of movement. That's the one time you got guys coming in and out the building. You can really slide in. Pause. Nas. Now these dudes live right upstairs. It's nothing for them to come down and go into that pod. The next morning comes, nothing happens. Big dude goes to wreck. Santana, dumb and stupid are outside. They do nothing. He said, now in my mind, I'm thinking they're plotting. Not to mention, this dude is a validated gang member, and he runs these other gang members. He said, Jay, I'm waiting. I watched them walk on the track. I watched them pass each other. They don't do nothing. They don't even look in his direction. They don't even acknowledge that he's there. He said, all right, they playing it cool. They go hit him afternoon wreck. Afternoon comes around, everybody eats chow. They call wreck, they go to the yard. Nothing happens. Still got night wreck at this time. So at 6:30 at night, they let you out till about 8:30. He said, oh, they're going to wait till nighttime. This is right at the end of the summer. They're going to wait till nighttime. When the sun goes down, it gets a little dark out there, and the only light is from the big poles out there that are on the prison yard. He said, nighttime comes around. Once again, they don't do nothing. Rather than attack him, they're over there on the bleachers, smoking their weed. He said that's when it became apparent they had bucked on the boy. They got the money, they got the Cashapp. Most likely, from what it sounds like, they sent the Cashapp to somebody else to buy some weed, never attacked the big dude. A few days goes by, he says he's on the yard and he sees the boy. Now remember, the big dude beat the boy up. He's not talking to the boy no more. He's not rocking with the boy. He's done moved on. He said, but he sees the boy on the yard. He started to heal up and he's on a mission. He jets straight across the yard to Santana, dummy and stupid. He said, I didn't hear what he said to them, but I know what he said. He said, what's up, man? I sent that money. It's been almost a week now. Y'all ain't done nothing. Like, what's up? Look at my face, man. You said to send the money and y'all get at him. Man, we can't touch the dude. He's got too many people behind him. Well, why you ain't tell me that when I sent the Cashapp? That's irrelevant. Well, then send my money back. Nah, you beat. The boy has to take it on the chin. He has to walk off. He has to leave. Nothing's going to happen to the big dude. He said we move on forward in time, Jay. He said about 2 weeks later, they attacked somebody in the stairwell. Another Cashapp getting sent. He said, Jay, they get at a chomo in the stairwell, tear this man up, beat him in his head with a rock in a sock. Not a lock in a sock, a rock in a sock. Leave him in the stairwell all crushed up. The guards find him, they get him up out of there. Now, I've told you these big bully dudes, they usually eliminate themselves. He said, Jay, it wouldn't be the boy that got him gone. It wouldn't be his gang that got him gone. He ends up getting into it with an officer. They come in, they spray him, they beat his ass, and they take the big dude up out of there. I said, hold on, stop, pause the tape. Just told me a story I can't even use, man. So the big dude don't get attacked. These dudes beat the boy out the money. And the big dude ends up getting sent up out of there because he gets into it with the guards. Yeah, running his mouth to the guards. They told him turn around and cuff up. He wouldn't cuff up. He punches one of the guards. They come in. They dish rag him. If you don't know what dish rag is, they crumple him up and beat him down. Get him up out of there, take him to the hole, ship him to another institution with the quickness. He said, so they start doing movement. They start moving beds, moving people around. And at this place, they're notorious for switching people. You might be in a cell for a little while, and just out the blue, they're like, hey, we're moving you to such and such building. And then they move people from that building over here. He said they come in with the bad moves, and they move like 20 people out the pod. They send them to this side of the compound, down to this building, just time to switch things up. He said, so a bunch of new dudes are coming in. And a lot of times this guy's coming from the hole. He said this group of guys comes in, and who does he see in this group of guys? The white boy that got beat up. The white boy that got beat up by the black boy behind the big-ass dude. He said by now, the black boy across the yard hasn't got him a new man. The white boy comes in, the dudes go stupid about him. All the dudes that are with to get down when it comes to that type of stuff immediately go at him. And the way this is going to work is the boy is going to choose who he wants, right? But sometimes it ain't who he wants. If you got somebody in there that's dominant over everybody else and can run up on you and be like, she's mine, I seen her first, you're going to have to back up. And then the boy's going to have to deal with what he gets. But that ain't this. He said the boy gets a new man. And it would seem that all is good in prison again. Or is it? He said, Jay, the dude the boy gets with is a cool-ass old head. Ain't never going home. Makes it very clear this is the only option I got. But people know not to mess with him. He's been down long enough that there's stories about him sticking this person, doing this 30 years ago at this compound. The guy's got a name for himself, but he's gotten older, so he's chilling. Not to mention, if he goes down there and goes at the boy that messed up his boy, they're going to get separated. They're going to get shipped. And it's all for nothing. Somebody else can get the white boy. And then not to mention, if he goes down and messes with the boy, he's got to go to war with the black boy's new man. He said, and then it happens, Jake. The old head goes to Santana, dumb and stupid. And y'all know the boy that hired y'all to put hands on such and such? Why y'all ain't never do that? Well, he was gang affiliated. We couldn't get at him. If we went at him, we'd have to go to war with all these gang members. So we just beat the boy out of his money and went about our way. Well, I need to hire y'all. So what's to say y'all ain't gonna beat me out my money? Depends on who we going at. I want y'all to take out the black boy that smashed out my boy. Hold up, back up. So you want me to take out the dude that hired me to take out the other dude, even though you know We took the money and ran. Yeah, these are different circumstances. Don't feel like you're going to take this money and ran. Not to mention, I ain't no boy. Pretty much letting them know you're not just going to take my money and run. If you don't do it, there's going to be repercussions and consequences behind it. All right, so what you talking about? I'm going to send that Cashapp. And y'all need to get at that black boy that put his hands all over my boy. Can't be walking around with my boy all beat up like that and everybody knowing what happened and not get some get back. That's his man. And his man's got to protect him. He's got to make things right. So they accept. They take the contract. Cashapp is sent. There's some slick ass dudes in the world, man. Let me tell you, there's some slick ass dudes in the world. They make this agreement to set it up. This building that they got to go down to and handle this dude has got tight security. The guards down there on their deputy doofy shit. Top flight security of the world, Craig. If you go down into that building and think you're going to run up and do something there, them officers are on point. They're going to catch you. You're going to catch street charges. They got to figure out a way to get at this dude. You can't do it in the chow hall because for the Cashapp, you're now going to the hole. Dumb, stupid, and Santana are all going to get separated and the gig is up. So they got to figure out a way to get at this boy without getting caught. If they can't go down there, then they got to find a way to get him from down there down to here. These old heads are slick. Slick as snot mixed with motor oil. Like these boys are slick. The old head sends word to somebody he knows down there that this shit that took place ain't cool and that his boy wants to run it back with the black boy. Sends word. Other people hear about this, so now you've got to handle it. If not, you're ducking the fade. Not to mention he trashed the white boy the first go around. So he probably doesn't have much fear when it comes to catching that rat. Now, you also can't just do this randomly. We have classes that take place, schooling that takes place, visits that take place, guys going to the yard, guys that have jobs. You have a lot going on, so you can't just move whenever you want because you'll end up in the wrong building and get tore off and nothing happens. And you'll catch what's called a 229. That's an unauthorized area. You get caught being somewhere you're not supposed to be, you're going to catch a charge. So he sends the word. Come down on this day. Slide in right after wreck, and y'all run it. I'll stand out the side, make sure nobody jumps in, and if you beat the white boy again, you beat him, but you gotta run it back, man. I can't walk around with him looking like that, and he ain't get a chance to make it straight. He's saying the fight was messed up anyway. You took off on him when he wasn't looking. He stirs the pot and sets it up for this dude to come in. Tells him, don't worry about getting in the pod. I know the officer that's working that day real well, so you gotta make sure you come around this time on this day. You catch the other shift, they're gonna catch you, you're not gonna get in, and it's not gonna get taken care of. All y'all need to do is fight and it's over with, man. I'ma let it go. Then my next question is, so what's that boy's man gonna do? He's just gonna let his boy go down there and get handled and he said he's not going? He says, nah, he'd hollered the dude, told him, look, everything's straight. You ain't got nothing to worry about. You ain't got to tag along. 2 people coming in, y'all most likely gonna get caught. If just he comes in, nobody's gonna notice. They can fight and then go their separate ways and we're good again. But they gotta fight, man. So he gives the other old head that's now the, I guess you wanna say, the owner of the black boy, his word. Nah, it's just gonna be him and the white boy fight, man. And if y'all have my word, I won't let nobody do nothing else. He'll be right back down here. You probably gonna beat the white boy up. So the day of comes up. Dude makes his way on down to the building. Comes to the gate. Hey, go get the old dude. They go get him. Old head goes to control booth, tells the guard, hey, we need to get some more ice out the ice machine in the front. Pop the door, I'm gonna take the ice out, bring it back in, fill the machine up. That's just a way for him to get the door open. He slides out, gets the ice, puts it in the buckets, puts it on the cart, and when he's pushing it back in, the boy comes in. After he comes back in, he tells the guard, all right, we good, man. I put the ice in the ice machine. Appreciate it. Can you open my cell? The guard opens his cell. Now, his cell is all the way in the back in the corner. Guard can't really see his cell. The cameras can't really see his cell. It's more or less a blind spot. He said when everybody slid out for rec that morning, Santana, dumb, and stupid slid in. He said you got stupid sitting on the bench. You got dumb standing a couple doors down with his back turned. He said you got Santana in the cell. The boy ain't even in the cell. The boy is in somebody else's cell, watching that cell, waiting for this dude to come in and go to that cell. They're waiting on him. He's been tricked. You got one standing outside, one sitting at the bench, and one in the cell. He said the boy makes his way across the pod. Oh, he gonna catch these. Oh, I'm gonna beat his ass. He got me fucked up calling me out. He wants some pressure. He gonna get it. I'm gonna do him this. He said the boy comes down the end. We call it the run. He said the boy goes down to the end of the run, turns and goes in the cell, realizes Santana's in the cell, turns to come back out the cell, and the other dude is standing out the cell, runs and shoves him back in the cell. The other one gets over off the bench, and they run in the cell. They push the button, the door closes. You hear the beating commence, you hear the screaming, hey, somebody get the guard, help me, help me. Now there's levels to this shit. You want us to hit him with the knife, you want us to bash him in the head, or you just want us to hurt him real bad? Nah, just hurt him real bad. I don't want you to stab him, because if you stab him, they're going to start digging into it. If you start bashing him in the head with a rock, and he's got to go to the hospital, or be med-flighted up off here, they're going to start digging in. Just hurt him real bad. Well, the boy's not stupid. The boy comes from another whole building, not really sure what he's walking into. He's no dum-dum. He brings a knife with him. In the midst of them beating this boy in the cell, this boy somehow gets his knife out and stabs one of these dudes in the back, like in the lower part of the back, leaves the knife in his back. This dude's now screaming, trying to get out the cell, while Santana and the other dude continue to jump him. He hits the button, he's able to slide out. By now, the guard in the booth knows what's going on. Dude tells me, he said, I was not expecting to see what I saw. As I've told y'all, Santana's a good sized dude. I didn't get too big into details on what the other two dudes look like. I didn't even ask the names. That's where dumb and stupid come along. Y'all rocking with Santana like that, you're dumb and stupid. The one dude comes out, Jay, and there's blood everywhere. He's been stabbed in the back. He's holding his lower back and he's trying to get to this knife. He said, and the boy is beelining trying to get to the control booth. Now, you've came to a building where you don't belong. These three dudes that just attacked you live upstairs. They don't belong in here. Said he's running, trying to get to the control booth. Santana grabs him, picks him up, slams him on the middle of the floor. The other dude that's been stabbed is now trying to get out the pod so he can get upstairs and get medical attention from one of his homeboys that tends to know how to fix things like this. You got a lot of dudes in prison. Hey, I'll stitch you up. Don't worry about it. I've been doing this forever. Oh, that's a good one. You good. I ain't worried about it. This dude's trying to get back out the pod. Now, these two dudes are on the boy in the middle of the pod beating the shit out of him. The white boy staying in somebody else's cell, unrelated, looking out at what's going on. Got the old head who set the whole entire thing up, pinned off to the side like he ain't got nothing to do with nothing. And you got Santana and one of these other dudes on top of this boy messing him up. The guard sees what's going on. She has radioed, and these people are coming. You got one stab running around with some type of a poker sticking out his back. You got one on the ground that's really beat up, that's responsible for poking this dude. And you got two of the dudes actively fighting with him. Why they didn't just leave it alone when the doors popped, I don't know. Maybe because he stabbed one of them. Maybe he stuck more than one of them and I just wasn't told that part. But for whatever reason, when they came out the cell, rather than try to get away with it, they continued to fight and go on with the assault. He said, Jay, while this is taking place, the front gate is open. The guard has hit the button. When the dude come running towards the front, she hit the button to let the guy that was being attacked possibly slide out the gate. Then she could hit the button, close the doors back. Now she's got them separated. The whole time this has been going on, that front gate is open. He said, Jay, I look up when I see the shadow. He said, I'm expecting to see like 10 guards come rushing in. He said, and it's the boy's man. Originally, he was supposed to let him go down there and handle business himself. But I guess after thinking about it for a few minutes, he was like, nah, man, this shit don't seem right. Let me go down there and make sure he gets his fair one. He comes in only to find the boy in the middle of the floor getting jumped by these two dudes, one of them stabbed. And the dude he's supposed to be fighting is nowhere to be seen. And he got the old head off to the side to set the whole thing up. He said, you got Santana on top of the boy, and Santana's just hitting him. And you got the other dude grabbing him from the side and hitting him. He said the old head that owns the boy comes running in the pod, sees what's going on. Now the mop closet is about 10 feet that way. He said the dude runs up in there looking around for something to grab, and he grabs the mop ringer. You know what the mop ringer is? That's the thing. You put the mop in, then you pull the handle down, and it rings the mop out. He said to Jay, he runs out with that mop ringer, and he cracks either dumb or stupid, whichever one it was, still standing up, right in the back of the head. And timber, down he goes. He said he smacks Santana in the side of the face with it. Fuck! And Santana falls. He said the third dude had been stabbed, makes his getaway. He said the first dude he smacked with the mop ringer has jumped up and is looking for something to grab. The way he described the old head that owned the black boy, his handler, his daddy, his war daddy, whatever you want to call him, he said the old head was like that, man. He said the dude that owned the black boy was like that, built up, push up, pull up champ. Not nobody you want to wreck with under normal circumstances. He said Santana goes to get up after being smacked with the mop ringer, and he hits him again right at the top of his head and drops him. So he cracks his whole shit. Dude fumbles, boom. Crumpled laundry right in the middle of the floor. Said the other dude that he hit that ran off to look for something goes up to swing on him, and about that time they come to the door, spray him in the face with the bear mace. Grabs his eyes, turns, tries to run out the door. They grab him, scoop him, slam him, handcuff him. Dude is still in the midst of beating Santana with this mop ringer. Said he goes to hit him with this mop ringer, and they shoot him in his back with the taser. And he falls over on the floor. He said, Jay, first it was like 3 or 4 guards. Then it was 10 guards. And I've seen these guards show up like this. Then there's 20 guards. Everybody locked down. If you're still out your cell when the cell doors closed, your ass going to the hole too. He said, we all disperse. We all going ourselves. Meanwhile, you still got guys on the yard while this is taking place. They've now sprayed Santana, sprayed the dude that came to save the boy, sprayed the other dude that initially got hit with the mop ringer. And you got the old head and the white boy standing off in the distance like ain't nothing happened. Now, I told y'all earlier, you can't see this cell. He said, Jay, them people come in and they lock all types of people up. They never locked up the white boy. They never locked up his man. They locked up Santana. Dumb. They go up and get Stupid, who's been stabbed in the back, and lock him up. They lock up the boy. They lock up the boy's man. Put all these dudes in the hole and ship them away. And that would be the end of Dumb, Stupid, and Santana. Said I never seen none of them again. But just as quick as they left, the Cashapp hits kept going. He said, Jay, when I got shipped from there to here, the white boy and his man were still in the cell together. Crazy, to say the least. Please remember this. Sometimes it's not the one you think you got problems with that you gotta worry about. Just like that boy went and hired them dudes to go at somebody else, the dude he initially hurt went right behind his back and hired them same dudes to go at him, which caused a domino effect, a whole lot of violence, knives being pulled, weapons being pulled. And from what he says, these young boys didn't have a whole lot of time. So they just tricked their whole entire bid up over a Cashapp. The Cashapp hits. Now, if you made it to this point, I appreciate y'all on this beautiful snowy day for rocking with me. I want to give a shout out to my homie Ronnie Blue Eyes, man. He's another YouTuber you may or may not know about, but he lost his father recently. A good man. A man like myself that had been in and out of the system most of his life. Resided in Boston. With him passing, it was unexpected. Left the family in a jam. Now it's the holiday seasons, man. If you've got it to give, please go to this GoFund link. It's also in the description of the video. And help another person out, man. Help them put Ronnie's dad to rest. I'm asking y'all personally, on my behalf, to go over to the GoFundMe if you have it. And anything helps, man. Anything helps. $5, $10, $20, $100, anything helps. I can only hope that if something like this happened to me and we didn't have the funds to take care of it, my family wouldn't have to stress over how to lay me down. And that good people in this world will come together. So please check out the GoFundMe. Help my friend Ronnie Blue Eyes lay his dad to rest. My heart goes out to you, Ronnie, and the rest of your family. But that's it. That's today's video. There's a whole lot that took place in today's video. You had gangbangers, you had boys, you had guys that own boys, you had knives, you had rocks, you had guards, you had OC spray, you had tasers, you had Cashapps. There's a lot that went into today's story. And if you like this video, you like these stories or this type of content, please make sure you hit that like, that follow. You got to subscribe and turn that notification bell to all. So anytime I drop this hot fire, you can get it first. But anyways, these streets, these jails, these prisons, they're all just crazier worlds inside of a already crazy world we live in. And as always, y'all know what I'm doing. Just trying to keep y'all entertained. Are you not entertained? And like always, this is Jay Williams, Let's Live Life. And to all my real ones, and there are some real ones watching, because y'all still watching me. Man, y'all know how we do. Salute.